Good morning, it's Cail. I'm going to do some diamond painting this morning. It's 8:05 a.m. here, and we are starting on the lower right hand corner of the canvas, and I'm going to take off 3 sheets, I think. Like, I'm going to go all the way to the corner and try and get this initial corner done, and then I'm going to move up. So welcome on in. Hope you're having a good morning or afternoon or evening wherever you are. I know it's the holiday season. A lot of people are vacationing. That's good. Rest is good. So let me go ahead. I'm gonna switch my glasses. Hopefully the music is at a decent volume. I had it too low before, I think. But it's Lo-Fi Girl. It's like a little Christmas chill mix. So, okay, when you're starting a new section, when you're doing a canvas that has as much confetti, like a lot of different colors in one small area as this one is, you kind of look forward to it, but you also feel a sense of dread. You're like, oh my god, what's going to be underneath here, right? So you put the release paper on here just to protect the glue so it doesn't get a bunch of dirt and lint and all that kind of stuff in it. And I believe this one came with it's like it's a different release paper than this one. It's like you can't see through it. So basically what I've done is washi tape the edge. There's a little bit of glue that comes out from the edge of the design, so you don't want your hand sticking to that or your arm. So I'm just going to peel it off, and it's sticky. I'm going to take all of these off, all the way to the end. There. So, let me see if I can move it over a little bit. Like that. Here's the end, way over here. That's the end. Back over that way. I don't want to go that far, so let's go back like that, so you can see what I'm doing. And I've got my little towel here, so I don't rest my arm on the completed side over here. So that's kind of like how you start a new section. You just kind of figure which section you're going to do. I mean, it could have been this one, could have been this one, and then I have these 2 here. So these 4 last sections. I'm almost done, yay. And then if you just kind of like review, like look over the area that you're going to do and kind of see if anything stands out to you with like big blocks of color. Say like these little 2 arrows that curve like that. These little arrows. There's this green here a little bit. It's mostly this. There's some the letter C here. And maybe it's just smaller little blocks. These are the 5 dots. Maybe some over here. So yeah, so you kind of just look over, and I think it's up here in this corner. So if I start off with those 2 arrows, let's see if I can find them. So let's talk about being an empty nester at Christmas, during the holidays, you know, New Year's, whatever. I think this is our 2nd year without the 2 locally based daughters communicating with us or wanting to spend the holidays with us. So it's just the hubby and I. Here we go. It's 9:39. It's a dark something, gray, green. So I know he's having a harder time with it. I'm more used to it since my daughter's in England and my son is gone. Yesterday was the June, July, August, September. Yesterday was 2.5 years that he's been gone. So he's having a hard time. And it's understandable. I think that when you become a parent, you have all of these kind of, what would you call them? Like images, ideas, thoughts about how your relationship is going to work out with your child. Especially your first one. Because you're kind of venturing out into the unknown. Why did I do that? Into the unknown of becoming a parent. You're not born a parent. And nobody really kind of teaches you other than by example of how to parent. And normally by the time you're developed enough to even notice that your parents are parenting you, you've already become, a fairly well-formed person. You're not a child. I mean, I certainly don't remember being, 5, 6 years old and looking at my mom and going, wow, she's doing a great parenting job. It was more like looking at her and going, wow, she's beautiful and she's a great mom. I love her. She's the best mom. So you don't really know about parenting. And even if you were a young adult and you weren't married yet, or even in a relationship but you're not married, like, would you really go to a parenting class? Like, how many people do that? Probably not many. And then you may do that if your spouse is pregnant and gonna have a baby. You may be like, well, maybe we should take some parenting classes and kind of, learn the basics at the very least. So you may do it then, but still, most people don't. I guess they figure they'll just parent the way they were parented, which isn't always the best way, right? I mean, some families have some pretty bad behavior that the next generation actually needs to, stop and just stop. Cut it out of their family traditions and whatever. So, you basically learn how to parent as you go. And you have these ideas. When my kids grow up, I'm going to go to their graduation. I'm going to, help my daughter with her prom dress. I'm going to go to their wedding. It's going to be really great to be a grandparent. All of those kind of things. We'll get together for holidays. We'll have cookouts and barbecues and, play games and talk and hang out. All that, good stuff, that good family stuff. But while some people may end up lucky enough to experience that, sometimes things just don't work out. And then you have to adjust and adapt. So there's 3 there. And cope with the emotional damage that does. When you're, kind of I guess your dreams for how you want it to be with your children are basically utterly destroyed. They're just ground into the dust. I had to go through that with my son, who was a drug addict and passed away from that. You know, I couldn't save him. And he had a daughter who I don't ever get to see. Not really. I mean, the offer's there, but, you know, it's kind of like not there. And his ex is a bit eccentric, let's say. So that's difficult. And then, of course, my daughter doesn't have any children. So that's it on my side. And then my hubby, he's not in touch with his son, but that's been going on for like a very long time. And again, I think that was, you know, drug related, bad behavior, bad choices. And you know, there are some people who are willing to leave drug addicts in their life. I did that for a long time with my son, sometimes from a distance, but he was, you know, still in my life. I still talk to him, but that's not the case with my spouse and his son. It was, I guess, a fairly clean break. And then he has three girls, and one of them is far away, but she calls. And then the other two that are local, they just stop talking to us. No reason given, no explanation given. It's like, okay. You know, like little children having a tantrum and not being able to communicate as an adult. That's fine. I'm like okay with it because at this point in my life, I'm like, I just don't give a F. You know what I mean? I just don't. It's like, if you want to be like that, then be like that, and so be it. The karma's on you. And that might sound like really super harsh, but you know, given my family history and the losses that I've been through in the past few years, I'm just like, I'm done. So, you know, we're at this point where we just have to accept that we're gonna have our holidays just as empty nesters, and we're just gonna have our dogs. Right? It's just gonna be hubby and myself and the dogs, and that's just gonna have to be fine. And to me, it is. I mean, obviously, I miss my son. I wish my son was still alive. I wish my mom was still alive. I miss my mom so much. I wish my youngest brother was still alive, and my stepdad. You know. But those are the cards, so to speak, that I've been dealt. And I gotta deal with it. Like an adult. I'm an adult. Not a child. Not to say that I don't act like a child sometimes. Not a child, maybe more like a teenager. I'm like a head banging to some, like, you know, grunge music or something. Or dubstep. It's kind of funny. So, hubby, myself, the dogs. I've got all the Christmas stuff out. It's all decorated. Got our Christmas lights up. We're going to make it festive. I mean, we're not big, you know, we're not partiers. We don't drink. I already did enough of that in my life, and it's just poison. Alcohol is just like poisoning yourself. That's how I look at it. Like when I go down that aisle, so in the Tom Thumb that we go to, the aisle that has the beer is the same aisle as like the potato chips and the Fritos and Doritos and stuff like that. So every time I go down that aisle, I see the beer and I'm like, that's just poison. I never used to look at it that way, but once I stopped drinking, realizing that I was basically just like poisoning myself, I was like, ugh, that's just poison. especially if you're prone to depression. It'll just do you in. So anyways, we're not partiers. We don't socialize, because I don't have any friends, and really neither does he. So we're just going to hang out together. We're going to watch football. I'm going to play my games and cross stitch and diamond paint. We're going to do our own thing. He can go putter around in his shop or take a nap on the couch. You know, it's really whatever he feels like doing. We'll probably like take a drive and in the evening go see Christmas lights. That's always fun to do. Just go see how other people have their yards and stuff. I don't know if that's an old people thing to do, but we used to do it when I was younger. My family. Pile all the kids in the car and just go look at the lights. And we'll just, you know, have a good time. I mean, it's possible to do that. It's possible to have a good holiday season without your family, your estranged family. First of all, I wouldn't give them the satisfaction of being like, oh, I'm so depressed. My children aren't around. I'm just going to lay on the floor and cry. Nope. Not happening. Now, in my daughter's case, I understand she's in England, so I just miss her. But the other two that are here local, I'm not going to be sad that you're not around, so don't even think that that's going to happen. It's shameful that they stop talking to their dad. Any child who does that, unless your parent was like abusive, and he's like not remotely that. So any child who does that to their parent is a total, and I'm going to curse here, just a total asshole. I mean, he spoiled them. They had like all those Disney outfits and curtains and beds and all that stuff when they were little girls. He spoiled them. He cooked for them. He bought this house for them, you know, so they wouldn't have to live in an apartment. Drove them to school, gave them money, bought one of them a car. I mean, you know, all the good things that a good parent does. You know, he was tough on them in some circumstances, but you have to be tough on your kids sometimes, because sometimes they're little slackers, right? But he was not, you know, abusive or anything. He was a good father. He is a good father. You know, he gets on the phone. I listen to his conversations with his granddaughter. It's hilarious. The way that he interacts with her over the phone. It's cute. So, no, we're not going to be sad and whiny and crying because our children are not around. We're going to enjoy ourselves. We're going to be peaceful. You know, when New Year's comes, we'll, I guess for Christmas too, we'll just make like a little veggie tray with dip and stuff, crackers and cheeses and stuff you can snack on. And we're going to do I think he's going to make a Cuban roast for Christmas. And we got like a little slice of ham, not big ham eaters. But just to do something different from Thanksgiving. And I'll make a baked potato. And he actually requested just the, I think the brand is called Glory. They have like these southern flavor, southern seasoned green beans in this big can. And he really, really likes those. So, I was like, that's fine. I was going to make, you know, like fresh asparagus, but he's like, nah, I'd rather have those green beans. I'm like, okay. Because it doesn't really matter to me, right? I'm not picky about stuff like that. You want green beans? I'm good with that. I think he wanted me to make the green bean casserole again, like I made at Thanksgiving, but I was like, no. That's Thanksgiving. Right? Just have something different. So we did talk a little bit about the kids not being a part of our life at the holidays. Not a lot. I missed one over here. I think he's still feeling it much more than I am. You know, yes, I miss my daughter. I think about my daughter, but the other two, I'm like, I'm just not going to think about it. It's not worth my energy, and I don't have very much. I don't have very much energy these days. I don't know, like getting older. I'm still fighting. Again, I don't know if you listen to my other videos, but sometimes I'll get like a rash, like heat rash. And again, I have it again. Like, why? So I'm going to have to get on the phone with, what's it called? Oh, that's a pretty song. What's the name of that thing called? It's a telehealth. What's it called? Something MD. I don't know. MD Live. Something like that. Anyways, you call and you talk to the doctor and they give you the prescriptions. Go pick it up. So the only thing that seems to help when I get that rash is prednisone. So I don't know why. Whatever it is, what it is. So I'll take care of that. Because I'm not going through Christmas itchy. Having like hives and stuff, whatever. This allergic reaction that my body is like going through. I'm almost starting to wonder if that's like a post-COVID shot BS thing going on. Wouldn't surprise me any. Get a chance to do some multi-placing here. So we had talked about moving. I don't know if I mentioned that before. I think I did. But I don't think we're going to. It's kind of dumb financially to do so. We have a good mortgage rate here. Our mortgage is low. And we've done so much work to this house over the past 10 years. It's like, I don't want to walk away from all that. I mean, he's got his pond, he has his koi, he has an auto shop and a woodworking shop. I have my sunroom in my office here, my studio. You know, we've redone the floors, new water heater, new AC, new electrical panel in the back, new appliances. I think we did both toilets, both sinks in the bathrooms. Like, seriously. The only thing we don't have in this house is a fireplace, which would be nice. We could probably add one in the living room. But would I really use it? Maybe. I like the smell of a burning fire. It smells good. Reminds me of being a Girl Scout. Let's see if I can straighten these out a little bit. Why is this one here? Some of these drills are a little fried. They got like the little tab on the end. So let me know in the chat. Let me see. I didn't even like open that up. That was pretty dumb, right? Let's check on the stream too. I swear, one of these days, I will just sit down and take the time and energy and brain power to figure out why Streamlabs does not just open the chat inside the software. Like, you have to go to a browser. It's so dumb. I don't want to do that. I'm sure there's either something I don't have set right or whatever, but you know, it's just one more thing for me to remember. And my brain power is diminishing month by month. You know, so in talking about moving and just talking about, you know, being empty nesters and it's just him and I, like, we would literally not have anybody available to help us move because we don't have friends. Like, we don't socialize. He might be able to get a couple of his, you know, little buddies from work to help out, but maybe not. I don't know. So that would be a real pain in the butt because I'm almost 65. Like, do I look like I want to be lifting up furniture? Especially heavy furniture. And of course, I don't want him to do it. Let me see if I can move this down a little bit. Let me see. I've got the canvas actually clipped to the light pad because the top of the canvas has all the drills on it that I put on there, right? And so it's heavy. It wants to slide off the end. All right, let me check this out, what I'm doing. Okay, so let's still move it a little bit more. There's the corner down here. Okay. So I think let me just kind of clip it on there just so it doesn't fall off, slide off. Although I have the drills like up here. They're up there. So I think now that I have the drills on it, it won't slide off. Wait, there's one down here. So yeah, so we had just talked about moving, and I was just like, I just don't really want to. Maybe if I hated my house, you know, or I hated living here or something, but I don't really. Yeah, we're kind of in town. We're like right next to a major city, but I don't really care about that. And we don't have a bad neighborhood. Got some old ladies like me. Well, I think they're older than I am. Across the street. One of them actually passed away. Yeah, we had 3 widows living across the street. Now we have 2. I think the one on the corner still lives by herself. And then the one right next to her, I think her daughter moved in with her. She fell down a couple times, so I think they didn't want her to be by herself anymore. So I think her daughter moved in, which is nice. So the one on the corner, she has Christmas lights. The one across from us, she doesn't. They have one Christmassy thing on their front porch. That's it. I mean, we don't really have like any kids on this street. There might, and that's a big might, there might be like 3 kids on this street, this part of my street. And that might actually like be pushing it a little bit. Because I don't ever see any kids. Now there are other people on the street that do their Christmas lights and stuff. It's very nice, but not everybody. Like one of the neighbors right next, well, let me see, let me think. So neither neighbor on either side of us puts up Christmas lights. Sad. Now I know the lady on the corner, she just lives with her mom. They're older. Or her mom is older. I don't know. She's not married, so I don't think she has anybody to even help her put Christmas lights up. And trust me, that's usually like a guy thing. You know, sorry ladies, but, right? Like, we don't normally go up there and do Christmas lights. I mean, we probably can, you know, if you're not, like, in your 60s or whatever, but, oh my god, it probably, like, hurts so bad to break your hip. But, I mean, that's usually, like, a guy thing to do. It's not sexist. It's just practical. They're stronger, taller. Yeah. Okay. So doing this big section like this, hopefully what it's helping me avoid is having to reopen all of these colors. I'm like crooked on the screen there. So I have to be careful because there's like this little symbol is 2 feet, 2 little feet, like hang 10. And it looks like the 2 arrow things together, like parentheses. So I have to make sure I'm not like kind of glossing over that. And then I have to decide what next color I'm going to do. Keep an eye on how long I've been going. So I don't think I'm going to play. I started playing Infinity Nikki. I just don't think I'm going to play it anymore. The platforming is massively irritating. I didn't realize it was really like a platforming game. I thought it was like more like an RPG, open world cozy game. It's not really cozy. It may be cozy on parts of it, and I even wrote that to them on X. Here's the 2 feet. 823. That's blue. I even wrote to them and said it's not really exactly a cozy game. The platforming is a little insane. It's a little rough. Like there's this one part that I was trying to get through and I just can't do it. You know. First of all, what it does is it shoots you down almost like a water slide looking thing. And then it shoots you out and up into the air. And then when you start landing, you immediately have to start jumping and platforming and dodging some like vines or something. And it's moving, and you're moving pretty quick. Because it has these little, what do you call them? Escalator type things, but they're going in reverse. Okay, so there's a symbol. Is that 1 foot? So we got 1 footsie and 2 footsies. Wait, is that 1 foot right there? Let me look. That's crazy. Why would they do that? Just do one, just, unless I just literally can't see that accurately, which could be possible because I'm blind. No, it is 1 foot. Look, 37.87. Seriously. Okay. They just knew that was going to make it more difficult, so they did that on purpose. Okay, so I'm just going to start on the right and work my way that way. Now, for updated news on this project, I did finally order the replacement drills. I was missing a couple of colors, so those are on their way. I think it already shipped. So then I can go back on those, I think it's like 2 or 3 sections, and fill in what's missing. And then those sections will be like finished 100%. And then once I do that, I'll come back over here and go back to working on this. So then the other thing, the other news, the other diamond painting news, is that if you've seen my other videos, kind of like glance through them or watch them or whatever, I was working on one called Celebrate Diversity. And not diversity like common usage of the word, but because it's a dragon and a fairy. And she designed that like before DEI even existed. So that canvas was having drill pop off, where the drills were popping off, they were falling off. And I worked on it, and then I stopped working on it, and then I worked on it, and I stopped working on it, and then I worked on it. I did, I think, a couple of videos on it, and then I just decided, this is ridiculous. It's just, yeah, not working. So I ended up just throwing the canvas out. I didn't even take the drills off that I had done. I just threw it in the trash. I don't know. I mean, that might be wasteful, but I can't imagine. Well, it wouldn't have mattered anyway. If I had attempted to take off those drills, they all would have had like a little bit of glue on the backside, and they would all like just be sticking to each other. So, yeah. So I decided to try it again. So I ordered from Heaven and Earth Design the canvas. I again requested poured glue, and I put a note in the little order page, like where you can put comments. I wrote on there, I ordered this before, which they can see in their records that I did order it before, but I was getting drill pop off, so I ended up throwing out the canvas. And then I wrote on there something like, I hope that with this new purchase that I don't go through that again. So hopefully they will understand. I mean, I wasn't mad. I was just disappointed because I like the picture. I like Amy Brown's art. I've liked Amy Brown's art for a very long time. So I wanted that canvas to work out, but, you know, it just didn't. So hopefully they will do a good job on the glue, so I don't run into that problem again. Because if I run into that problem again, then I'm going to be like, not just disappointed, I'm going to get pissed. And if it happens again, I will ask for a refund. I didn't ask for a refund on the other one. It had been so long, and I had tried to, you know, make it work for so long. You know, I was like, that's just not going to happen. And, you know, I don't even know what the return policy is on that. I would have to go look on their website. So I have that one coming, and I can I can toss it into the rotation of trying to finish this one here, which I swear it'll probably take me My arm is sticking to the glue. Stop that. I see this little single foot. I don't know how long it will take me to finish. I mean, obviously it will take less time if I only work on this one and don't rotate the projects. But what happens is you kind of get tired of working on the same one. It's kind of like a crochet project that's big, or like the cross stitch projects that I'm working on that are huge. You know, you get kind of like you're tired of working on that one, so you rotate. So that's why the other day I was working on Boho Seaside and not Once Upon a Fairy Tale on my cross stitching. I was like, I gotta do something different. And I'm gonna do, I think max is gonna be 3 on my rotations. So 3 diamond paintings, 3 cross stitch projects. Like I put aside the Mirabilia for now. So I have some fabric coming. Okay, so I ordered that's all this little crafty news. So I ordered some, I think it was 18 count cross stitch fabric. So when it got here, and I think the reason I picked that particular item was because it was coming like the next day. I was like, that's cool. But when it got here, it was so bad quality. And I didn't realize, like I cut it to the size that I needed for a project. And then I started stitching on it. And then that's when I realized, like, this fabric is crap. So let me see if I can explain what was wrong with it. How do I explain it? So when you're doing, okay, so like right now I'm doing cross stitching, not diamond painting. Okay, I'm like trying to figure out how to do this. Okay, so you have like the square diamond and it fits, all the 4 corners of the squares go in the 4 corners of the little square on the canvas, right? Okay, so cross stitch is you come up 1 stitch and you go over diagonally to the other hole. Like it's a hole in the fabric. It's an even weave fabric, so it's got this hole, right? So the threads are like this. And you come up through the hole and you go on the other side. You come up this hole and you go to the other side. You make an X. Or you can just do like one direction and you just do a half stitch. So Once Upon a Fairy Tale is being done in a half stitch. Mostly because I can't see what I'm doing. Right? Why do these little drills have all these little tabs on them? So, when I was trying to stitch on that fabric that I had just bought and cut to size, man, I wish I had noticed it beforehand. I wouldn't have cut it and I would have returned it. But since I didn't notice, duh, I just ended up throwing it in the trash. So, that fabric, the hole where the holes are supposed to be, where it's like even weave. So even weave is like there's 10, I guess it's like diamond painting. There's 10 by 10, like in a square, right? That's how you kind of like cross stitch 10 by 10. And so where all the squares join here in like a diamond painting, on the fabric there's a hole. It's like an even weave. It's not linen. And so when you take your needle and you push it through the fabric, there's a hole there. You're not like punching through the different individual threads of the fabric. You're punching through the holes that are between the lines of the fabric. So this fabric that I bought, the holes were like almost like non-existent. So I kept taking the needle and mistakenly punching through the threads of the fabric. I was like, okay, that's not right. It has to go in the hole. That's what makes it even. So you make even shaped, even size X's all throughout the fabric, all throughout your project. You don't make like a little tiny X and then a bigger X. They're all the same size. So I was very disappointed in that. I was like, are you serious? And I had already cut it. So I just threw it in the trash. So then I ordered another one, but that one won't be here till after New Year's. So I'm hoping that it is better quality than that other one that I ordered, because oh my gosh, it was awful. And then like the actual feel of the fabric itself. So normally, if you're doing like kind of like a regular cross stitch project, you do it on cotton Aida fabric, or some kind of even weave fabric. And then if you're gonna be like a little bit more specialized or more advanced, you'll cross stitch on linen, which I have not really attempted to do because I know my eyesight will be like, no way, Jose. So anyway, so the new one I bought is a 16 count cross stitch fabric, so I will try and figure out what I want to do on it when it gets here. I haven't quite decided which project I want to do. I'll have to pick a picture. I'm looking for two little feeties. My little dog was moving around. So I bought the puppies some new toys, and who's moving around out there? It's Lily. And Misty, the puppy. I mean, I think she's a year old now, but I guess she's still a puppy. Anyhow, she starts chewing on it. Instead of just playing with it, she gnaws on it, like in one spot. So she's like tearing off one of the ears of whatever it is. I think it was like a little bear. So she's like tearing off the ears and then like eating it. So yesterday morning she barfed up part of the ear. My spouse was like, do you see this? Because he saved it for me to look at. I was like, gee, thanks. That's what I really want to see. He's like, she ate that ear. I'm like, yeah, well, she does that. Hey, be nice. Yeah, she knows I'm talking about her. Be nice to your sisters, because they're bigger. I have those set up for multi-placing. They're bigger than you, except for Rosie. They'll take you out. She thinks she's like the alpha. It's like, no, you're not. You're just a puppy. They just tolerate you. I'm trying to see if I see more feet back over this way. I didn't like look hard. So I think what I'll do... Okay, so I'm gonna let my spouse cook the Cuban roast. Like, I have nothing to do with that. I will probably bake the potatoes the night before so he can have the oven. And then I will like cut up the veggies for the veggie tray, little snack tray. Misty, what are you doing? What are you doing? You lost your mind? There's a foot. 1 foot. I do the veggie tray, and then I'm going to set up in the living room to probably kind of do a combination of things. I'll probably bring out a diamond painting project. I was working on Welcome Home yesterday while I was watching football. But I might bring this one out there so I can try and finish it. And just kind of work on it while I am watching TV. Hey. No. Little feeties. this morning while I was I was cross stitching earlier. Young lady, stop that or get out. One of the two. Stop or get out. Or stop and get out. So I think what they're hearing is the same thing we heard earlier. So I was peacefully cross stitching on Once Upon a Fairy Tale, listening to a little bit of BS stuff on YouTube, and this cat fight broke out in the yard right next to my window. The dogs freaked out. They were like, what's going on out there? I'm like, oh my gosh. Because the lady who lived across the street, who passed away, rest in peace, she had cats, and her cats were all outdoor cats. And so when she passed away, nobody from her family came and picked up all those cats. So they're still there, like living at her house that nobody's been living in for, I don't know, 3 years, something like that. And so there's another lady that I think was her friend who comes and feeds the cats. So I think it was one of those cats, and they got in a fight with, I guess, somebody else's stray cat, because normally her cats don't fight with each other. Yeah, and so my dog started freaking out. I freaked out, so I was banging on the window. Knock it off! Trying to, like, because one cat sounded kind of, well, you know how cats can sound when they're fighting. Well, I don't know if you know, but when cats fight, they sound like they're being, like, tortured. It's a really bad sound. It sounds awful. You're like, oh my God, what's happening to that cat? And a lot of it's a lot, you know, sound and fury, but not a lot of, they have to, like, really, like, close in with each other to start getting into, like, the puncture bite territory. And I've had cats all my life, so I've seen cat fights. And I'm going to take this, I'm going to scoot it over, and I'm going to finish with this color over here. Is this going to work? Now I got to unclip it. So I'm manipulating the canvas and the light pad underneath. There. Like that. Who moved the picture? Let me see. There we go. Okay, so apparently YouTube, I know I'm skipping subject to subject. Apparently YouTube is just being more awful than normal, and a lot of smaller YouTubers aren't getting any kind of like traffic, and subscriptions are falling off, and blah blah blah. You know, this is why, like, these teenagers that think that they're gonna grow up and become like YouTubers, streamers and stuff, they're just dreaming. Because YouTube, I don't know, I think it's just kind of oversaturated. And apparently, I was listening to this one guy, he's from, I think he's from Norway. Very interesting man. He's a writer, he's an author, and he speaks very slowly and deliberately, and he's got that Norwegian accent. Pretty slick. And so he's got a channel. He's got a couple of channels. I think he's got 3. One for like his writing stuff, one for his outdoor stuff, because he's like a you know, like Viking lifestyle outdoor stuff, and then his live streaming channel. So I just saw he had a new live stream. I looked at it, and he was saying that AI, that people, let's put it right, that people are putting out on YouTube AI created videos. Okay, I think I said that correctly. And so, why are these things sticking together? It's irritating. So I think what's going to end up happening if YouTube doesn't just like remove all that, like literally, like you're not allowed to put AI content on our website. Not, you know, like a fully created video. Like, yeah, they have to have like some sort of limits. And I think that if they don't do that, all of the real, you know, people are going to start getting pushed to the side, and they're not going to get traffic, and so they're not going to get subscriptions, and they won't get their little ad revenue. I mean, not that I get ad revenue, because you have to have 500 subscribers to get that, and I'm not remotely close, and I've been doing this for a year. I think it's been a year, and I'm not remotely even close to that. So I don't know what they're going to do about that, but I mean, I'm assuming, I don't know, I have to think about that. I don't know like how the revenue part works on that. I'm assuming that the person who created that AI video, and if they have enough people and whatnot and they're monetized, they'll just get the revenue for content that's not even made by a human being. It's sad. Saw the little people like myself and other crafters and artists, artisans, you know, like woodworkers, like all their channels are just gonna suffer if you start putting all that AI content out. As people aren't going to be able to tell the difference. Like I was watching this one video just a little bit ago, caught my eye, where the title was talking about how movies, like actual films, are getting to be where they can be created with AI and look like a regular motion picture, which I think is awful. I mean, AI, it's just, you know, it's machine, it's computer, it's not like a human being. It doesn't have soul. It may look good, but it doesn't have that human, I don't know, touch. That's my opinion. So, I mean, you know, I'm still here, obviously, making a video, doing a live stream, but I don't know if I just do less of that. I don't know. I don't mind doing it. It's nice. Although sometimes, you know, I'm like, basically I'm just talking to myself. But I talk to myself all the time anyway, so that's not a problem, right? Let me see here and see if I see any other dual feet. A little hang 10 sign. Younger people won't know what that is. Oh, I missed one here. I saw it, I swear I did. 1, 3 here. And then I think after this, I need to mop the kitchen floor. Although I think it's gonna rain. I gotta let the dogs out. It's kind of like dark here in this corner, so this is a dark color. I'm gonna look like here. Yeah, see, they're here. Here, like all these I missed, like right on this bottom row. Duh. I am gonna call my brother though this Christmas, the one that stopped talking to me. I'm gonna call him and be like, dude, when are you gonna get over not talking to me? Like, we're too old for this nonsense. I've given you, what's it been, 4 months? I've given you like 4 months to get over it. I've respected your anger and your feelings and all of that. But like, you know, Like, we're all kind of like dying off, like our family, and you don't have any kids. You'll never have kids. So, like, really, I was the only one talking to you. Like, we talk to each other almost every day. So, like, give me a call. Let's kiss and make up. I mean, we've done this several times in our life where we've like had a fight or argument, whatever, and we don't talk to each other for months. And then we'll start again. It's really bizarre. Okay, I think maybe I'm gonna kind of go this way. I think I got most of them. I think I got most of them, and then I find two. One right there. And right there. So I'm kind of going back this way. Like, oh my god, did I forget any? I missed them. I think today, okay, where did I see it? Right here. Today, instead of listening to YouTube, well, I don't know, I gotta think about it. Okay, so if I'm, oh, and I did start crocheting. So I might crochet and maybe put on Lord of the Rings Return of the King, because I did do Fellowship of the Ring and I did the Two Towers, but I didn't do, I might have started Return of the King, I just didn't finish it for whatever number watch that is. I don't even know how many times I've watched them, but I have them on Blu-ray, the 4K, I think it's a 4K, I don't know, like extended edition. Very nice. Excellent quality. So I put that on. It's gray and cloudy and gloomy here. Turn on the electric fireplace for ambiance. And just put that on. Or I might save that for Christmas Eve. And then just play my game. Play some Palia. I want to play Nikki, but I can't handle that platforming section. I just can't. I keep missing. I can get like part of it, and then I go to jump and I hit the vine, and it just I keep hitting that same. I can't like get over that one piece of vine, and so then I just end up dying. And then it brings you back to the beginning and you have to start it over again. It's freaking irritating. I hate it. And so I can't progress in the story. So there's no point in playing, playing the game. I could go and collect things and explore the world and do outfits and stuff like that, but, Okay, so this is the 2 feet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the other foot, let's see, hold on. So I got a car. Let's put the boat here. Let's put the boat next to the car. And, wait. This is all like wrong. I have these all wrong. So boat, car. It's like technical. So I have the colors sorted by like category. Let's put all the crescent moons together. Like, right? These are like totally wrong. Okay, so this is technology. Why is that? they're like all wrong. Okay, well I'm just gonna put, I want to put the 2 feet together. So let's do it this way. Okay. So there you go. And that's been an hour. Perfect. I'll go for an hour. Wait, let me get these glasses so I can see what I'm doing. Right. So let's review. So I've started this section and we're going all the way, I'll move it over, all the way to the edge, to the corner. And I'm just going to do the same thing, the same process. Pick a color, you know, the crescent moon or the letter C or whatever, and I'll just start at either end. It doesn't really matter, like, you know, which end I start at, and I'm just gonna like go do a pass this way, and then I'll come back and do a review pass that way, and then I'll change colors and I'll start one direction and then move one direction until I fill that up. So what may end up happening, so down here in this corner there's this symbol with the 5 dots. So I think maybe the way I'll pick the colors that I do will be to start filling in this square. So I would pick like the 5 dots, and then this is I think it's an atom, like an atom symbol. Then the letter A, this is the smiley face, this is the I, and then this is the letter I. And then as I do that, it'll start actually like filling in these squares over this way. So it'll kind of go like this, right? And then once I get done with this section, I'll just move up to these next 2 sections. So I'll probably, but these are big. These are pretty big. So I'll probably, here's where the, can I get it? Here's where it splits. So I'll probably do this one first because the rest of the drills are that way. All right, so if I move this, you can see where the completed ones are. So I'll do this section and then this one over here, and then this one, and then this one. Then I'll be done. So really after this long kind of skinny section, I'll just have 4 big sections. And then I'll be done. I don't even know how many drills will be down. But see these missing ones up here? So I've got like the curved arrow and the open V that points to the right. Those are the 2 colors that I'm missing. Oh, there's one here. And so that's what I ordered. And when they get here, I'll fill these in and this will be done. So that's kind of how that's going. So we're making progress. I mean, you know, it's a slow process. I mean, if I wasn't gonna play Palea, let's think about it. You know, because I'm a bit burnt out on Palea, and the winter stuff doesn't really like catch my attention. I'll probably be more like happy in spring because I like the green and the flowers and stuff like that, especially if they offer us more flowers for our plots and stuff like that. So I might play a little bit, but maybe I'll just end up bringing this out to the living room, put it on the coffee table and just work on it while I watch TV in between doing chores. And hopefully I can make like more progress on this section so I can like move on and finish this project. So anyhow, enough rambling. Enjoy the day. Enjoy your holidays. You know, be at peace. Be content. Be grateful. You know, I hope that everything goes well for you. And, you know, we have a new year coming up. Fresh start. I got to make my 2025 goals. So, yeah. Not sure when I'll stream again or when I'll do the next video. Since YouTube's kind of like, you know, it's not like where I'm going to make like a living. I'm not going to be a YouTuber, you know, making a living here. So, we'll just have to see. I mean, I may think about it like over this like holiday season. And hubby, I think, is only working today and tomorrow, and then he's going to be off the rest of the week. So he can like keep an eye on the dogs, and I can have like some quiet time away from being a dog parent. And you know, just decide maybe I don't even want to continue doing this after the new year. You know, or maybe just once every couple of weeks or something like that. You know, so I'll have to think about it. We'll see. We'll see what happens. So anyhow, like the video. Subscribe to the channel. Enjoy your day. And be kind. The world needs kindness. And I will see you next time.